Welcome to the No Life Gaming Show, episode 8. Episode 8. Yeah. Eight episodes. We're running up on episode 10. That means we've been doing this for 8 weeks now, almost 10 weeks. This is good. We're rocking and rolling. So pretty much the hype of E3 has died out, and now we're just kind of riding out. Big Steam sale, so we're all picking up the games that we didn't really want to pick up before, but now that they're on sale, they're looking a little bit enticing. So we've gotten some, we're playing around with some new games. I've been playing a few, and before we get into that, let me just say, hop over at our Twitter, at No Life's Gaming. Make sure you follow us there. I'm thinking about making an Instagram for the account and really trying to kind of push to both platforms. I'm not too sure yet because it's really difficult to kind of push social media on two different platforms consistently. And I think the Twitter is just really all we need right now. And don't forget, you can also head over to our Twitch /no_lives and follow us there so you can catch us when we're streaming. I will be streaming tonight. I'll be streaming some Ghost Recon Wildlands. Super into that game. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And you should just see more streams popping up and little content here and there. We're doing our best to try to get it going with all the stuff that we've got going on. We're rock and roll. All right, let's bring a co-host on. What's up, co-host? How you guys been? How was your week? You guys, or your weekend, I should say. You guys had a good weekend?
Oh yeah. Well, this is like technically my Sunday on Monday. Actually, my off days are about to change again to Thursday and Friday. So I'm gonna have some extra days off this week. Just got a short week at work. Feels good, man.
That's dope. That's dope. What about you, Doobie? How was your weekend?
What's up, my dudes? It was good. First weekend in a while where I didn't have plans. I kind of just hung around, slept in, played some video games.
That's cool. We went to our check out our wedding venue. Me and Kate's wedding venue. They like set it up where because it was like this, it's this big garden, and when we first signed up, it was like the first time they were doing weddings there. So it wasn't set up for weddings, so we didn't know what it was looking like. So they did an open house, and we checked it out, and it's pretty nice. We're pretty excited for that. And go ahead.
If I ever get married, I already know where I'm gonna get married at. I doubt I'll ever get married though, but because marriage is a trap. But but there's this place in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. It's a big church. I've been there for a wedding. I think it was about 3-4 years ago. They're divorced now. But I went there, and it was really beautiful.
Or is it the Thorn Crown?
Yep, that's it. It was actually on Reddit a couple days ago, like a week ago in pics. I've been there. It's really beautiful. It's really nice.
Yeah,
I watched
crazy.
Wedding Crashers 3 times this weekend.
Did you really?
It was on Comedy Central, so I just had it on.
3 times.
Dude, that movie is so good, okay?
Is it 3 times good, though?
Anytime it's on, I just put it on. I wasn't, like, actively watching it. I maybe watched it, like, 3 times, but maybe once. Where I caught, like, the beginning the first time, the end the second time, in the middle the third time.
I got you. Just something on in the background.
But I love that movie.
What else did you guys pick up on Steam sales?
I picked up Wildlands, Ghost Recon Wildlands. I heard that game was pretty cool, but it was like didn't look like it was $60 cool to me yet. But I'll talk about that in a little bit. It's awesome. I picked up Watch Dogs 2, that was on sale. I picked up Transistor, Hyperlight Drifter, and Grim Dawn. And those are the 5 games that I've gotten so far. Is it over?
Nice.
It's not over yet, right?
No, it's over like on the 5th. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, July 5th.
Yeah.
We still have a while.
I picked up a total of 0 games on the Steam sale because my wallet cannot take it right now.
You're waiting for all them fucking Switch games, that's why.
Yeah, I got Crash Bandicoot coming up on Friday, which I am like super excited about. Crash Bandicoot was my shit when I was a kid.
So what do they do? Is it a remake of it, or is it a?
It's like a remaster with some updated graphics. Like they redesigned kind of some of it, but it's Crash 1, Crash 2, and Crash 3. I wish they had put Crash Team Racing on that thing, but they did not.
I played Crash Bandicoot actually not that long ago. I'd say maybe about a year ago, and I was the same way. I loved Crash Bandicoot as a kid. It was one of my favorite games. I play that game. I must have beaten that game 100 times. Playing it now, it's not. It's a terrible game. There's like
It's
like,
Temple Run.
it's
It
basically
really, yeah.
It's basically
it's
Temple
so
Run.
nostalgia based at this point.
The nostalgia doesn't hold up though, because after like the first map, you're like, I don't remember this map. Like this is so long ago. I don't know. It's just not my thing.
I'm hoping that this maybe like maybe they can bring back Spyro, because I love the Spyro games.
I played Spyro 2. Doesn't hold up. It's a little better than Crash though. It's a little better than Crash.
I mean, they're.
Okay, come here.
It's the same reason Ukulele like didn't do so well.
Yes, exactly.
You have to like that style of '90s platformer, '90s collectathon.
I'm gonna show Kate
to
this
like
church.
Ukulele.
This church you were talking about.
Yeah, dude.
Look at that. That's in Eureka Springs,
Arkansas,
Look,
in the Ozark Mountains.
it actually is really gorgeous. This is crazy.
Yep.
It's in the mountains. What, should
So
we
we're
switch?
We're all coming to the wedding, right?
Of
Well,
course.
mountains.
It's really just hills. It's a bunch of
Yeah,
mountains.
they're glorified hills. I mean, they're not actual mountains, but yeah,
We're all
they're
coming to the
bitch
wedding.
to drive. But that's about it.
Yeah,
It's a-
we'll
it's
just
an
do
epic wedding.
we'll do a live podcast from the wedding. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
And
but
then you'll
bake cake.
immediately get divorced because she will hate you.
You're just gonna have your wedding cake, and on top of it's just gonna be like a really like slim mod and a really bulky mod for your male and female.
It'll just be fucking Crash Bandicoot on top.
Crash Bandicoot's the preacher. But let's see. I'm glad you picked up Hyperlight Drifter. That is a good game. It is. It's a bit frustrating though, which you'll find that out here shortly.
I played probably about 4 hours of it. Nah, maybe like 2-3 hours of it. Damn, it is so fun.
Yeah,
It's such an underrated game.
yeah. It's a really good game. It's got that Zelda mixed with Dark Souls and pixel art feel. I
You
don't
know
know.
how much I love that. I love that combo. Fucking
Yeah,
love that
dude.
shit.
It is really good. Also, you might want to pick up Hollow Knight. I
was
picked
just
up
gonna
Hollow
ask
Knight.
you, how is that?
I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard that
I
game's
haven't
pretty
had-
cool.
Yeah, I haven't
I'm
had time to
waiting.
play it yet. I did pick it up though. It's only like $9. I haven't picked up these two yet, but I will. The Wolfenstein and Wolfenstein DLC. Those are both $9.
Yeah, I saw
I'm gonna have
that
to
too.
pick that up.
I saw
I
that.
picked up
I
a
will
game
buy
called.
that.
I picked up a game called Shadow Tactics. It's like a isometric stealth game. It's pretty cool. I played a little bit of it. I played like the first. They like encourage you to quick save and quick load.
Ooh,
They encourage you to save scum.
yeah.
So if that tells you anything, it's going to be a hard fucking game.
Yeah,
And I just played the first mission, and it is pretty difficult.
these are some
but,
images of Hyperlight Drifter on the screen now. It's so stylized, and the music is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is really good.
I didn't realize how much. It's just a good game. Like it has good game mechanics. There's a lot of like little secrets that you can get into. The music is great, and it's just something that you can just play for hours and not have any qualms about it. You know what I mean? It's just nice to play, and that's why I've been digging it. And I also picked up Transistor because it looks kind of like the same game. Bastion is an amazing game. I think that's on sale,
Supergiant
too.
Games makes good shit.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Bastion-
soundtrack of that game is fantastic. I used to speedrun it.
Wait, Bastion or the other one?
Transistor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's there's some really cool tricks in that game, but
Don't
once,
tell Wayne.
No. It was like on the old patches, and you had to turn VSync off, and it
So,
was just a hassle.
is
But
it-
it was a fun game.
I haven't played it at all yet. Is it like an RPG or is it a tactics game?
action. It's like an action RPG with some tactic elements.
It's
the way
it's
that
like-
battles work is you kind of like you have a certain amount of moves. You can like go into like a slow time where you just plan out your moves and then you execute it.
Okay.
It's kind of like
but it's
Bastion,
really-
but a little bit more tactical than Bastion, I think.
The combinations of powers is like some of the really cool like strats that we found was like there are some enemies later in the game that are they can do damage when you're on the hardest difficulty, but there are certain setups that you can just abuse to destroy them.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I want to get into it, but I've been playing these other two games really mainly because they're just actually pretty good, which is Wildlands and Watch Dogs 2. They kind of flew under the radar. Watch Dogs 2 kind of had a patchy release. It didn't like run right on PC when it first came out, if I remember correctly. And
Nothing Ubisoft releases runs right on PC when they release it.
That's probably the reason why both these games kind of flew under. It's like Ubisoft just can't get a good release, like a strong release. But both of these games are great. They're not bad games. They're not phenomenal. They don't blow me away. But they actually are really fun to play. Watch Dogs 2 is surprisingly good. Just think of like GTA 5 with a Mr. Robot skin on top, and that's pretty much what it is. It's a little more hacky, and not hacky as in like actually hacking, like fucking Hacker Man, but hacky as in like comedy hacky.
I heard it was a lot better than the first Watch Dogs.
Yeah, I haven't played the first one because it just didn't. I played a demo of it or like a trial run of it, and it just didn't catch me. But this one is so good. It's it really feels like Grand Theft Auto 5, which is one of my favorite games, which is weird because I wonder if they're using the same engine, which probably not because they're two different publishers. But it's like exactly the same animations, the same kind of like cut scenes and the way it all, it's just exactly like Grand Theft Auto 5, except you hack things and you can hack the world around you, which actually adds a really interesting element to the game. That's why I've been so interested in it. And we're going to do I'll review it at the end because I've gotten pretty damn far. I haven't beat the whole game, but I've gotten pretty damn far, so I want to review it fully at the end. But Wildlands, I want to talk about really quick. This game is fucking awesome. I'm surprised it hasn't caught on much more. Basically, you're just like this kind of like operative that gets sent out into Bolivia, and you have to take down this entire cartel. This like cocaine smuggling. His name's El Sueño, and he runs this huge cartel, and it's this sprawling kind of like jungle South American land, and it has a really fun Far Cry-esque kind of base takeover system where it's like you run into a base and you have to like plan out your system. Like, okay, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to shut these lights off. I'm going to set it up so they blow up over here. But you also have like teammates, and you can either do co-op, any mission co-op, or you can have your PC squad. And I've done both. And that also adds a huge element of just fun to the game because you can set up like really interesting ways to like take out systems. And the AI is really good. The AI is done really well. It gets pretty difficult once you get further into the game. And it's all just to bring down like this coke lord. The story's excellent voice acting. So if you're interested in like Cocaine Cowboys kind of stuff, this is an awesome game with an awesome story. It's brutal. Like it's not like they don't shy away. Like with Watch Dogs, I felt like they kind of pulled back on some of their content. Like it could be a lot darker, which would be more like Mr. Robot, I wish they did because Mr. Robot's amazing. But they kind of put a little bit more of like a PG-13 feel in Watch Dogs, where this is just straight up brutal. There's like torture scenes and it gets crazy because you know how crazy it is out in South America with the cartels. Like they're no joke, and they really captured it into this game. So
they're not some Nancy's, if you know what I mean.
No, and if there's any Mexican cartel or South African cartel, Bolivian cartel dudes watching, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm saying,
but you're fucking scary.
You guys are too scary. You guys need to stop being so goddamn.
Just wait till they come to your wedding
and give you a cartel necktie.
Yeah. Cartel
I know
necktie.
that in one of our Discords. I know that Grimes like really likes Wildlands.
Yeah, Grimes. That's what I was thinking when he was talking about it.
That's what he was telling me, man. He was like, he was like, you're gonna like it. I'm surprised more people haven't been talking about it. But this game,
it was really big when it first came out, but it fell off. I'm not quite sure why it fell off.
I know.
I guess because there's an ending to the game, and that's why that and PUBG came around. PUBG came around like right after Wildlands, and everybody just jumped on that train.
Yeah, Zelda was like still kind of dying. Its hype was still like sizzling out. There was a lot of great games that came out.
Horizon Zero Dawn. So it was just like not, because it's not as good as those games. It's just not as good. It doesn't introduce any kind of like new elements. It's a Tom Clancy game,
It's a tactical shooter. You're in this wildlands, but it's done well and it has a good story. And right now it's on sale, so I highly suggest you pick it up. But one other thing, if you pick it up on PC, you need a pretty legit PC to run it. Because I'm like just getting 60, 70 frames at 1080 Ti, and it's like all maxed out, and it's just getting like 60, 70 frames. It chugs at some points when it's like crazy explosions and stuff going on. So if you have a console, I would maybe pick it up for a console, unless you have like a really good PC. Then because then it's gorgeous. The game is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. You can really max this game out, and it just looks so good. And the co-op stuff's fun too.
One reason that I didn't really look into getting that game or didn't really think about getting it is because I've played the older Ghost Recon games, and they all had like, you had a pretty big area, but it was like a mission area, and you would do your mission in that area, and then you would go to a hub or whatever, and change your outfits and your gear and all that. But this one is completely open world, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's one reason that I didn't really think to get it or didn't really want to get it.
I think there's just too many open world games. It's too much, man. Like if there's just, because Zelda's open world and I'm still playing Zelda. Watch Dogs is open world. This is open world. I mean, if you're playing like 3 or 4 games at a time and they're all open world, the game is just take too long because you're just traveling half the time. Luckily, Wildlands has a good fast travel system. Like every kind of like place that you, like a point of interest that you pass, you can fast travel to it, so that cuts down the time. And if you want, you can kind of just scroll around and find goodies everywhere. It's got a good upgrade system. You can upgrade your guns. But like you said, I feel like this game benefits from open world, where Watch Dogs 2 isn't. It's like, I don't know. I think its open world is too big for its own game. There's just I'm kind of getting tired of open world games because they're just too big, if that makes any sense. Sometimes you just want to play a couple missions and that's it. You're not trying to have this entire open world experience where you're walking or driving 12, 15 minutes just to get to your next mission. That gets like tiring. And there's definitely some of that in this game. There's definitely some of that where you're just driving through trails and you're like, all right, let's get to our next mission zone. Because like, what else are you gonna do? You know what I mean? But I still think it's worth the pickup now. I wouldn't pick it up for $60. I don't think it's a $60 game. I only have like 1-2 sections of the whole map unlocked, so I'm not that far into it. But I am having a good time. I think Rage picked it up as well. He says it looks interesting, so he picked it up, and I kind of want to get his thoughts on it too, because he likes games like this. And I think it was like $40 if I'm not mistaken. I think it's worth it. It's pretty fun, and they got a lot of DLC.
Yeah, that's my thing with open world games. Like, it's one thing to have an open world. It's another to have an open world where, if I'm walking around and like that's the beauty with Zelda. It's like, I want to go do this, and any time in between from where I am to where I want to go, there are so many different things that are going to pull me in every way. And when a world is open world, but there just feels like there's nothing to do, or just you want to get to the next point.
Yeah.
That kind of destroys it for me.
Yeah, it gets boring quick. It gets too long.
I've heard from the people that from the reviews I've been hearing about E3 and the Mario Odyssey demo they had. It was kind of like Zelda. Like everywhere you go, there's something different. There's little things, and that's what I love.
Because if you look at Zelda and you look at Wildlands, just for instance, Zelda, it doesn't look like there's much going on. Like the open world is so vast, but it's also like sparse looking, whereas Wildlands, it's like this extremely detailed high-res open world, but there's so much more to do in Zelda compared to this game, and that just goes you to just shows you know what I mean, like how gameplay your open world needs to fit the gameplay, otherwise there's just no point. You're just making the game longer for longer sake, which is a problem that I have with like games like Persona. Those grinds are just there to make the game longer. They're not there to serve any other purpose than that.
Yeah, that's a JRPG trope, though.
Yeah,
that's a JRPG classic staple.
Yeah,
you gotta have the grind to make the game longer.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's like this game's 300 hours. You're like, yeah, it's 150 hours of grinding.
But
so many JRPGs I can count off my hand where it's just like, yeah, this isn't too bad. And then you get to a point and it's just like, well, holy crap, all of these enemies are beating me. What do I do to get better? Oh, that's right, I got to grind.
Yep. Got to go back to one area and just grind
And just,
constantly.
Grind
I
out
don't
your
mind
XP, grind out your money,
I don't
grind out
mind
your
gri-
AP.
I don't mind grinding if it's like a fun combat system and if there's like things that you can do while you're grinding. But sometimes it's just literally the same thing over and over again just to do it. And I don't like that either. I think that's something that could be learned from.
Doobie, did you ever play Bravely Default on 3DS?
I played the demo for it, but it actually didn't interest me.
Well, it's a really beautiful, good basic JRPG.
It's essentially
if you ever
Final
get into it.
Fantasy. It's Final Fantasy.
But what they did was they set up the system in it to where you can queue up actions in certain like orders of your moves and stuff, and just queue it up and record it. And every time you run into a battle, you can just hit auto battle, and it would do the same order of things over and over again. Not only that, but you could speed it up to like 4 times the game speed.
Yeah,
so they were like, hey, yeah, we're gonna help you grind. But anyway, what I was gonna say was,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that as far as empty worlds go, Ukulele had that problem.
Oh yeah.
That I heard from everybody. I was really excited about Ukulele since it was supposed to be the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. And yeah,
I was this is an opinion I heard. It's I kind of see it now, with the Ukulele being like the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. It's sad when like that's made by the same people that were part of that team, and Super Mario Odyssey is essentially the Banjo-Kazooie spiritual successor.
Yeah,
you got the transformations like Mumbo Jumbo with the capturing with the hat thing, which I think is dope as hell. And then you've got what essentially is like notes in the coins where you can actually spend them now. And then the moons are kind of like the jiggies where you get them and you're not kicked out of the level.
Why was Banjo-Kazooie regarded as this amazing game? I hated that game. I thought the game was terrible.
It's that classic 90s collectathon.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
It's also a case
porn.
of nostalgia.
Nostalgia porn. Anyways,
let's be honest, we live in an age of nostalgia porn.
You are correct. Isn't it funny how everyone kind of reminisces about the 90s, yet it's the same people who are like, vote Trump, conservatism rules. It's like the 90s
it's
was
nostalgia.
The most,
I remember back in my day,
kind of progressive era in the U.S. history. The economy was booming, everything was going crazy, but now you want to go back to like the 1950s where it was.
I don't want to get super political. The only thing I will say is, of course, everything was great back in the day. You were 8 years old. You didn't have bills. You didn't have things you had to take care of.
You didn't have perspective.
You
didn't develop perspective yet.
Fucking years old. You have perspective now.
Plus, media was new. Media was new, so things were kind of new, and I think that
10 years ago, the iPhone released, the first one. That's where we're at.
This just brings me to my next point. The internet ruined everything.
The connectivity of a people just being able to talk to each other in an instant.
I wonder how
spread fake news.
I wonder how crazy the internet would be if it was the same thing, except you couldn't connect to like actual people. Like it was just websites and media. I think it would. I don't know. Who knows?
It would be controlled way too easily.
Let's move on.
It already is.
Let's get some news. Player Unknown's Battlegrounds next patch tweets loot spawns, adds gun. Okay, I'm interested in this.
This is going towards the route that you wanted it to go.
That's good.
Loot spawns, interested in that. More guns, interested in that. I think the game needs that. I think it needs a little bit more to do with.
You wanted like guaranteed loot spawns though, like specific areas with specific guns.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll ever come to that.
Guaranteed loot spawns where it's like everyone knows that there's this machine gun in this house. That's gonna bring action over there. Kind of like how it kind of conforms everyone to a smaller area. You could do the same with loot, which adds that kind of level of gameplay. I like how they had those drops, but they were too few and far in between, and generally they just didn't go over well. You would just pass them because it's too risky of a move to go after them. But if you didn't know, if you know that you don't know who's going to those loot spawns, I think that could be done well. And more guns is just cool to me. More loot, I think, will definitely bring me back if there's like a lot of loot. Look, it doesn't look like they're adding too much though.
Player Unknown's hide and seek. That's what it should be called.
Hide and seek.
That's what it is. You just spend 20 minutes hiding
Yeah.
until you are forced to actually encounter somebody and hope you don't suck.
Yeah, well, there's that one video where that dude literally just hides the whole match and wins. And then he goes out and he actually fights and he loses in like the first 2 seconds.
You hide until everyone dies, and then you hope that the last person, you get to the circle, and the last person maybe gets caught in the blue and can't get there and dies, and then you win by default.
Yeah, hiding is not a fun gameplay mechanic, in my opinion. Anyways, I'm a little hard on Players Underground because I think it has potential to be an awesome game. Maybe like new game modes or new kind of like mods or something. Because right now, it's too much of the same for me. Let's see. I'm trying to see what kind of loot they're adding here. Also being added to random spawns is the P18C 9mm pistol. It's only like a couple guns. There's a sniper, the bull pop, scar. That's already been in there though, right?
They need to add rocket launchers to that game.
They need to add, I don't know, a lot of things. But it's rocking and rolling. I think when it moves over to Xbox and hits the console, they're going to have a lot of money to play around with it, and then you're going to start to see some cool stuff being added. I'm all for it being on a console. I think it's more of a console game than a PC game, if you ask me, because it's pretty casual. It's not, I don't know. I guess people would debate that fact. Here's big news. Let me bring this up. SNES Classic. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. SNES. Oh, Jerry's in here.
Jerry, what'd you get on Steam sale, Jerry?
Yeah.
Oh my God, so far nothing. Oh no, that's a lie. I got East Side Hockey Manager.
Oh yes, that's right. You said that.
I've seen you playing that game for fucking days now.
Yeah, I have been. Well, I just got back home out of vacation since last Thursday.
Nice.
For anyone who was wondering. But I'm also cranky as hell because I have now been driving for like 6 hours and finally made it back.
Oh well, dude, you didn't have to come on, man. You could have taken.
Oh,
You could
no,
have
it
taken
was-
the show.
No, you had to come on, Jerry.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
No, dude, what else was I gonna be doing tonight? No, it should have been a 4-hour drive, and between when I left Thursday till now, this weekend decided everywhere is construction weekend now. Like if everywhere there was already like 10 spots with construction. Well, now there's 30. So
They're trying to repair the roads for July 4th and other traveling
pretty much.
holidays.
Yeah. Well, it's weird too, is because like where I was going, it's a little tiny town, middle of fucking nowhere, and the main road. There's one road to get to that town from the side of the country I'm going to, so of course that was under construction and all done. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
2 hours of driving time is a lot of driving time. If you have to add that on there, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It was whatever. It
At
was
least
worth
you're
it,
back.
though.
You're back.
Yeah, it was fun.
Chilling.
But
So is your vacation over now? Do you have to go back to work?
Yep.
That's
Pretty
it.
much. Yeah. But
That's life.
I live. Yeah.
Well, here's some news that'll lift your spirits. The
I was gonna
SNES
say-
Classic has
Ooh.
been released.
I did see that. I was excited about that.
$79.99.
Buy yourselves 3 of them, make some extra money.
Hey,
No, thank you.
No, only buy
No,
one.
thank you.
Be nice. Buy one. Okay.
You think
They're
they're
gonna-
gonna
they're
allow?
gonna sell out?
They said they're gonna stock them more than they did the NES, but I'm
I
waiting
did
to
not
see
see
it.
No, they're not.
I did not
like,
see them say that anywhere. I did not see them say that one place. So I don't think they will.
Doobie.
I can find it for you, but they say one thing and do another, so I don't.
I was just gonna
won't
say.
believe it until
I was just
see
gonna
it.
say. I love
If you
Nintendo.
hear shortages, I'm not gonna be surprised. I'm gonna see it and be like,
No.
okay, yeah, I expected that.
Dude, that's what I'm saying is buy one, because that's also my plan to pay for like 6 months of rent is pre-ordering like 7 of these.
September, go ahead. Sorry.
It seems cool that's one of the biggest issues I have with Nintendo and why they scare me sometimes is I don't think it's gonna have enough stock. They just got it on their track record now. The last one had stock issues. The Switch is still having stock issues. I just think it's
popular.
well, yeah, it's exactly. It's really popular. They're really good. They're really hot market items. I'm just worried. I don't think I just think Nintendo doesn't have enough resources, if that makes sense.
I don't think they do either. I
Look,
think it's gonna be
like-
really hard to get. Dude, this is the SNES. This, in my opinion, is far superior.
Better.
Than the NES.
It's less
Same.
games than the NES, but let's be honest.
They're
These
better.
games are going to be a lot longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the games are really good that they have listed here. Like, I love all these games. Like, they have Link to the Past, Super Metroid. Let's see,
A new Star Fox.
Castlevania.
Country,
Yeah, they have Star Fox 2.
which
That's
never released. It
Yeah,
was never
this is-
even finished.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is technically the first actual release of it is on this, which
That's
is
what's
pretty
going
cool
to sell
me.
this, I think.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's going to sell better than the last Star Fox game did.
But to be completely
Link-
honest with you, I'm not going to buy this. I'm not going to
That's-
buy this for $80. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so
Considering I
consider
can
it. I'd
get
consider it.
all of these games,
On an emulator.
all of these games within the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
Before we're even on the next fucking topic, I can
And-
get all of these games the next 5 minutes
But isn't
and
it-
play them
see,
with the
that's the
Xbox
thing.
Isn't it a
One
box
controller.
that's
and be
like this
fine.
big? Is it in a box like this big by this big? You know, these things are like tiny.
Let's be honest
They're
here.
cool.
Well, let's be honest here. I don't think you're really the targeted consumer. The targeted consumer is the families that's going to come in for holiday buys. It's going to see that this is $80 or nostalgia based,
And they're not going to be
No,
able to get
that's-
one.
that's-
And there's
no.
going to be a lot of nerds
Because
that are
we
gonna buy
bought
it.
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I was gonna
right?
say that's I don't even think it's families. No, dude, this is nostalgia. The biggest
Nostalgia porn.
That's
no,
nostalgia boner.
the biggest, like, okay, don't get me wrong, I've done a lot of research into a lot of like the age breakdowns of gamers and stuff, and yes, younger kids play video games like fucking crazy, like holy shit, like actually
Yeah, because
statistically.
they don't have jobs, Jerry.
Oh, I know, dude. No, no. If you go to a statistical breakdown, people under the age of 18, I think it's 97% males, 96% females, play video games every single day.
No,
even
okay, I gotta
including
ask,
phone
are
games?
Mobile, I was gonna say,
Including
mobile games
mobile,
considered
yes.
that because that's where a huge
Yep.
market
No,
is
I know.
right now.
I know, but it's still technically a game. It's still technically a gamer in this pedantic sense. But what I was gonna say is all of those kids, they're expected to, by the age of 21, have played over 10,000 hours of video games in their life. Now that's a huge market. Guess what? The 30-year-old market's even bigger. Like
Well,
the
that's 'cause
actual
we already
yeah.
played 10,000 hours with
Exactly.
the games.
No, like, so that's why this is marketed at everyone who grew up with this, because we're also all of
I
the
mean-
people who have the stupid disposable income to just be like, yeah, dude,
Would you be
I wanna
shocked
play
if
that.
next year, if next September of 2018, they drop the N64 Classic? Because I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. That one I wouldn't buy.
The problem is going to be they're not going to be able to. There's just too much demand for it. It's going to sell out
Mm-hmm.
instantly, and then you won't hear about it anymore. Then you're going to have to get it on eBay. I think a lot of
Where
these
you're going to pay
companies are
3
hyping
times
this
the
up.
price for it.
Yeah, a
Yes,
lot of these people are
please buy
hyping
my
this up.
eBay sales.
If you
please.
need to get one, I don't even think anyone's be able to get one that we know. I don't know anyone who owns an NES Classic. No one. Those things are
Yeah.
so rare. So you're not.
I
gonna
know
be able to
more
get one of
people
these.
that want one than the ones that like have one.
Let's talk about some of these games.
I would- was-
Contra 3, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3. That's cool. F-Zero, cool. Kirby, Superstar, Dream Course, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Pretty
First game I ever actually beat. First full game I ever beat in my life.
cool. Link to the Past.
Yep, that's
Great
that's
game.
honestly a huge reason why I want this
It's a
too.
great
That's my
Like,
that's
yeah.
my favorite Zelda game.
That
Yeah,
is
same.
my
It's-
favorite.
Like this is what brought me into video games.
Mega
I've
Man
never
X.
played Super Metroid, so
Secret
know
of
a lot
Mana,
of people love it.
Star Fox 2, Street Fighter 2, Super Castlevania 4, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. That's pretty cool. Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch Out, Yoshi's Island, and that's it. There's a
My
lot of
question-
missing games.
Where's
that
Chrono
should be
Trigger?
on here? Chrono Trigger is one
Where's
of them,
Chrono?
man.
It's not an issue of like, oh, Square's not supporting it. We've got Final Fantasy 3 and SMRPG on there. They could have put Chrono Trigger on there too.
So you're paying $80 for the hardware, right? And you're paying it for maybe 2 or 3 of these games. Because let's be honest, a lot of us are gonna fire up Star Fox 2 for 2 seconds, and be like, oh, this is cool. I'm never playing it again. You know, you're buying this either for Link of the Past, you're buying it for Super Mario RPG or Super Mario World. You're not buying it for any of the other games.
You're buying it for the classic controller. That's the only thing you're buying this for.
My main concern with this is what does this say about the Switch's virtual console?
Yeah,
That could
It's not going to be there.
It's
This
gonna be
is the new
non-existent.
virtual console.
Yeah,
Literally, it's a virtual console.
No, I don't know. I think they're a little bit different. I think the Switch is still going to have the same virtual console. Like I don't know. I think this is purely a nostalgia thing.
It's just
like,
going to
this-
drive
yeah.
up hype for the Switch's virtual console.
Yeah, like
They're
this
gonna
is
charge you $3
That might be
for
why
fucking
they
Donkey Kong
withheld
Country.
some games then.
yeah, like this
You
is
can get this, but on the Switch virtual console, you can get Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
I
it's-
could see that.
Yeah,
but
it's because this is the full package too. This is a small, tiny console that looks like the original, has the same controller as the original. You're paying $80 still at the same time for 25 games that are, I mean, you can definitely argue at least 3 or 4 of them are probably in the top 25 list of all time
oh yeah,
for $80. Like
It's
it's the full
still-
package though,
It's an
where it's
interesting
yeah.
still gonna
product.
argue.
It's that pack. Oh, I know, but it's
this
like it's
is
that
the better
package.
controller.
Dude. It's that package for people who want it. It's a novelty item, basically.
And the same
yeah.
with the first
Look,
one. It's the same with the first one.
it's-
But they could
it's-
make
it's
a
the-
I mean,
dude,
how
it's-
much? I don't.
It's the
know,
tablet. It's the tablet of the gaming world.
I don't know how much money they're gonna make
this,
on them.
They should license this to a toy company, a big toy company, so they can push out hundreds and thousands of these products and really bank on it and not try to like kill these old ladies going into GameStop.
Toys
Make
R
it-
Us,
yeah.
man.
'Cause they're
Toys
gonna
R
get-
Us.
It's crazy, but you're not gonna be able to get one. It's impossible.
I'm wondering how much,
no
because
way.
I know that the NES Mini, they actually weren't making that much money per unit sold. They actually, it
No.
did. They
You-
weren't-
you-
it wasn't like they were making like a ton of money on it.
You want to know what I wonder? I wonder how many of these games are actually just they installed ROMs that the
That's what it
fans
is.
ripped.
100%. I want to see this thing cracked open. I want to see
If it's the quality of
It's a
ROMs
Raspberry
that,
Pi.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a Raspberry Pi.
with a gig
if
stick
it's the quality of
taped to it.
ROMs that they had on the NES Mini, which you can watch the videos. I'm not sure if Digital Foundry did one, but I wouldn't be surprised. They were actually extremely high quality ROMs. It's not like you were just downloading them off the internet and they just put that on a thing and said, here. They were actually really well done how they were.
Yeah, I'm
like,
sure the
executed.
Nintendo has like a server with all the old games just packaged in like a nice little complete
And
format.
you
They
gotta,
can put it
you
on
gotta
anything.
imagine Star Fox 2 was never, at least officially, even completed.
Yeah, it's cool, but like then again, who gives a shit about Star Fox 2? Like what?
I guarantee you it doesn't matter because after
It's
this
not
thing
going to run at
drops,
60
like
FPS.
2 days later, after this thing drops, we'll be
It'll be
able to
a ROM.
download Star Fox 2 on the internet on some kind of ROM
That's
site.
true.
I was
That's
talking to
true,
a
but
friend.
I'm gonna be real with you. I actually have more faith that this thing will play 60 FPS than most Xbox One X games.
Yeah,
You're right.
I do like you're gonna see the modding community, the hacking community, they're gonna get in, they're gonna hack the thing, and you're just gonna be able to dump all of your ROMs on there and just play every SNES game ever on it.
I wish they could just sell the shell. That would be cool if they gave you the shell and then you
I
could do
wish
your own
they
Raspberry
sold-
Pi thing.
I wish they
Yeah,
sold
those-
the other
just a
version.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I love the Super Nintendo, the Super Famicom, like the Japanese, and even in the European Super Nintendo, they look so much more elegant than like the box
I like
Yeah.
of the
that.
of the US.
No, I like the
Super
Super
Nintendo.
Nintendo look. I think the white and purple looks really dope. I think that's a
I
dope
just
color
it's
scheme.
blocky.
It looked better than the original Nintendo.
Yeah,
Well,
that, thing,
yeah.
that thing looked like a piece of shit.
And I'm also going to argue that the Super Famicom controller is 1,000 times better than the Super Nintendo controller. The colored buttons and the fact that they're all, what is it, convex, not concave.
Yeah, why would they make them concave? That's so dumb. That's such
That
a
was
dumb
They
design.
did it for America and they took the color out. Like, the controller in Japan had the red, blue, yellow, green. It was beautiful.
No, I like the purple though. All right, let's move on. We'll see. We'll follow this story. Whoever here can pick one up, I'm sure we'll get some good videos on
Me
it.
and Jerry will definitely get one.
I'm not kidding. I'm gonna try to buy 5 of them.
Are you gonna pre-order? Is there a pre-order kind of thing for it? I don't
I think
there is,
Amazon
right?
put up a thing because they put up anything for pre-order.
Yeah, true.
Bro,
Dude,
I
you can
can't
even
wait
get
for
Whole
the-
Foods on pre-order now.
I can't wait for the limit 1 per customer thing, and Jerry's
it's
going to
so
be
gonna
so
happen.
mad.
He's gonna call
have, like,
5 different GameStops up. Go, I want to pre-order one.
He's gonna
My
have
name
6
is.
different identities. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, how many Amazon accounts do you think I have here, dude? This ain't child's play here.
All right, let's move on. Rockstar urges Take-Two to ease off Grand Theft Auto modders. We talked about this last week. Take-Two kind of came after Open 4. They said, you got to stop fucking with our security thing. We got to take you down. It's a matter of principle. And they issued a statement. Rockstar Games believes it's reasonable fan creativity and, in particular, wants creators to showcase their passion for our games. After discussions with Take-Two, Take-Two has agreed that it generally will not take legal action against the third-party projects involving Rockstar's PC games that are single-player, non-commercial, and respect the intellectual property rights of third parties. And then below it, Rockstar Games said that Take-Two's decision was based on the fact that Open 4 enables recent malicious mods that allow harassment of players and interfere with GTA Online experience for everybody. So, I understand why they did it. And having them come out and say, look, we're not trying to go after mods. We had to go after that one because there was because they were fucking around with our security interface. And out of principle, you can't allow that. That kind of opens you up for further attacks. And then it just kind of ruins the integrity of your game. I can understand that. So they did try to make things right. They're not going to take any legal action, even though they kind of already won. They got them to take down Open 4. So we'll see.
This is just a case of fucking rapid backpedaling.
Yeah.
Due to extreme negative reaction.
Well, what did they think was going to happen?
I don't know, man. Once you start attacking your mod creators, it's probably not going to turn out well for you, especially on this level. Yeah. If they would have just been like, you know what, we don't condone this, but we're not going to do anything about it. Everybody been like, oh, okay, whatever. We see your point of view. But when you start threatening legal action against a team of people who's just trying to make your game better, or give other people the tools to make your game better, and they're not making any money off of it. It's not like there's some kind of a corporation out there. Yeah. Not like it's like
exactly
espionage.
Good old paid. When are they going to enact the Bethesda model of paid mods?
Oh, it's coming. One caveat to this new agreement between Rockstar and Take-Two is that it does not apply to mods that affect online multiplayer, which was the reason given for the order against Open 4. Another exception is made against the use or importation of other IPs, which does not bode well for the cancel fan-developed remakes like Red Dead Redemption 5. So you can't add in other IPs because that can get them sued. Take-Two can get sued for that. You can't
rip your GTA 5 Mario mod.
Yeah, but I remember there was one mod where it's like you can have Mickey Mouse and you're playing Grand Theft Auto 5 with Mickey Mouse. That does not look good for Disney's IP. So I can understand that as well. And obviously, multiplayer mods are not going to be allowed because
Just
that's where they
Mickey
get their
Mouse.
money is through the microtransactions. So they need to keep it sound.
Mickey Mouse holding up an AK-47.
What did it?
It's not good.
Just that image is great.
It's not good. Or just like killing Mickey Mouse in any way just does not look good. Picking up
Get the fuck out of the
prostitutes.
car! Bitch, you want my money?
All I'm saying though is, what did I say last week? It's IP.
Yeah. That's what it always is, man. It's always money. They don't care that people were griefing other people with mods. They don't give a shit as long as it wasn't costing them money or potentially costing them money.
And I can respect that. I mean, I can respect that. I can see,
Well, yeah, at a business standpoint, it makes perfect sense. But now they're just trying to be like, this has nothing to do with that. We're trying to protect you.
Yeah.
It's just...
They're all full of shit.
Yeah.
All right, so speed running. Someone speed ran Prey in 7 minutes, and we watched this earlier. It's pretty impressive. Now, Doobie is the resident speed running fanatic here, and I want to ask you how difficult do you think a speed run of this caliber is? Is it really just a matter of knowing the glitches and how to hit them, or is it really take some kind of...
A lot of it's execution based.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot of execution based stuff in this.
Yeah, as soon as he put it up and I saw 7 minutes, my first thought was, okay, where are the out of bounds? That's how you do these games that fast. That's how Amnesia speedruns are. That's how what's the Dishonored? They're all out of bounds. You just gotta find where the triggers are, where you can clip out of the area.
So you mean outside the map and then kind of float around?
If you can get to where the triggers are, there's a lot of different things for speedrunning. You've got your crazy super long because they're just optimized and there's really no glitches. Let's look at Animal Crossing 100%. It's 22 hours, I think it is. It used to be 56. And then you've got games like Super Mario World where you actually, like, to beat it the fastest, you're actually doing code. You are doing things in the game that, and by doing those actions, you're actually writing code for it to execute the credit sequence, which is really cool to see. And it's really hard, but it's also like 1 minute and 30 seconds.
That's pretty
and
crazy.
A lot of resets.
Wait, so Animal Crossing, I guess that has a lot of day skipping, like changing your internal clock constantly.
You have to.
Yeah, there's a lot of optimized like actions and things you have to do, and when you get to manipulation, or you start to manipulate RNG, and that goes to a coding level as well.
And that just leads to straight sociopath tendencies.
I made a not so PC joke in our Discord.
So we were talking about this before, like, so it looks like in this one he's pausing, like during his load times, and that kind of brings up like the
PC speedrunning does that a lot. You won't see that a lot in consoles, depending on, it just really does depend on the game. But for PC speedrunning, you'll see it in Skyrim, you'll see it in Morrowind, you'll see it in any Elder Scrolls.
You have fucking
Fallout.
birds in your house again?
Dude, it's hot, man. I got the window open. You're gonna have to deal with it. I love you guys, but I'm sweating.
You fucking go yell at those goddamn birds. Get the fuck out. What time is it over in New Jersey? Is it like fucking 5 in the morning?
8:30.
Jesus
Dude,
Christ,
but
what are
still,
birds doing
I had
out
to
at
deal with
8:30?
Hawk today. I get it. I get it.
Dude, fucking.
Anyway. So PC loading.
Dude, God damn it.
The way they do it is it's like not everybody's build is the exact same, and builds do affect load times. So it's not really fair to count your system build as part, because then you would just be pay to win, pay to have the best record, because your build is God knows how expensive because you have the best parts. So it really comes down to just how stable you can get your game, and then just timing out your loads, because those aren't always equal for everyone.
No, I
No, dude,
bring
you just
this
get
up.
Just give everyone M.2 drives or U.2. No, just
there's
U.2
certain-
drives. Fuck it.
Just
There
run
are
it
certain
natively.
games where this, like the timers, and the timers today are a lot more advanced than the timers of like 5 years ago, where you used to use W split. Now they use live split, and those timers do have people who code for them certain games where it's like, okay, you're speedrunning Skyrim, so you have this thing where it knows when the loads are, and it'll just time it out for you. Or you can run the game, and then after you're done running it, you just will go back and time out the loads. My buddy had to do that for Morrowind.
I think that's a better way, because if you're relying on a program or someone to like physically press like now you have to stop it to load, you can kind of cheat that out, right?
They're all recorded. And trust me, people have tried cheating by splicing runs. That's what it's called when you like cheat. You splice a run where you splice footage. And there have been people who've been caught with that. That's why speedruns are really, you see a lot of live streams, because that's verification that it's real, is it being live. And then you can go back. There have been Super Mario, not even Super Mario. There have been like the original like Mario Brothers NES where records have come down to frames. Just by timing it frame by frame,
and I got
to see if you got the record.
So this guy beats it. What does he have the world record now? Yeah, he beats it in less than 7 minutes. Yeah. What does he win? Like any sort of like money, or is he just like a tier higher?
It depends. A lot of it's pride. It's just pride.
That is so crazy to me.
Competition with other people is a thing. Some people do it because they view it as fun, But there are bounties. People have put money on the line saying, if you can find this glitch or a way to do this or a way to skip this, one of the biggest ones, I don't know if there was a bounty on it, but one of the big glitches to be found in the last couple months, at least, I think maybe a year now, was the barrier skip in Wind Waker for the GameCube.
Now, how do you know? How do you know where? Like, how would someone know to do that? Like, how would someone say, okay, I know you can glitch this part when you haven't done it before? Does that make sense?
You gotta try it.
Yeah.
A lot of it's
like there is no way to actually know it.
So how did that bounty work then? Did he say figure out a glitch and then I'll give you money? And then
sometimes there are theoretical things. Like they knew that it was possible to do barrier skip, because they understood that there was a way to do it when they looked at the emulation. They looked at like all the code and how the different like axes work. So they knew it was theoretical to do it in real time on a console, but nobody could figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And then somebody broke in and they were able to get it. And of course, their reaction, they lost their shit because they had just broken one of the biggest tricks that nobody could figure out for like at least a couple of years.
And then everyone uses it, right, in their runs.
Yeah. I mean, I used to speedrun Final Fantasy VI. You go back like years ago, people knew that there was a glitch in the game called the sketch glitch, and that it was US only at the time. Now that they found out you can actually do it in the Japanese cart, and it had to be the 1.0 cart. It couldn't be any newer version of the game. And everyone knew that it caused things to be weird and it would screw with your game. And then somebody figured out how to pretty much manipulate it and figure it out. And now it's how you beat the game as fast as possible outside of a really dumb 52 death warp, which is really silly.
Now, where is the line between like speed running a game and then just completely breaking the game and to finish it?
That is a good
any
question.
percent and no.
There are a lot of people, you can look at YouTube comments. This is cheating. If they're using glitches, this isn't what the developer intended.
Yeah.
My opinion is fuck you. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah, but
You
what
don't
if
like
you can...
it, run glitchless. I don't care.
So that's, I guess, the only way to do it is to just have a different tier, no glitches.
If you look, you look at there are a lot of people who run glitchless because they don't want to use the glitches or they want to make it harder. I mean, there are games like Super Mario 64 where you can beat that game with no stars. You just glitch to the final boss and beat it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, does that count as a speed run? Like,
oh yeah,
would that
I
count
mean, it
if
counts.
you could just glitch
It's any
and then
percent.
and you just win, huh? What if
The
you just like
default term-
type in a command, like win, and then you win the game? Does that count? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how far does that go?
It is if it's not developer, like that's where like it draws a line. Like, you're not going to write in code that's not there. If you can do it in the game, like you can't just go into like a PC game and just write code for it that lets you win. That's not, in one, that's not competitive. Two, that's not entertaining. And
Yeah.
three, I don't think that's fun. So it really comes down to community. I mean, there are people out there who, like, when a game comes out day one, before they even casually play it, they're going to speedrun it.
Well, how about the guys looking at like the E3 footage and they were like tracking out speed runs? It's insane.
Oh, yeah, no, I've
Super
already
Mario-
watched the footage.
The Odyssey one. He's like,
Yeah.
and now Mario, when he jumps, he goes one frame higher, and when he presses this button, and it's like,
I already
holy
saw
shit,
it.
The game's not even
I
out
watched
yet,
the
motherfucker.
I watched
God
a 30-minute
damn it.
video about a guy talking
Just
about
enjoy
movement
the
options.
trailer for 2 seconds before you start going friggin' crazy.
Yeah,
in your
and he was.
speedrunning.
And my thing was, I wish he hadn't done that in front of the developers because now they're gonna patch that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, shut the hell up. Just do what you're
Keep that a
doing, but
secret.
don't tell them. And then he told them. I'm like, dude, come on, you're ruining it for us. You're gonna make this game slower.
All right, let's move on.
I
So
know.
I don't know.
Have a 1
ahead.
month window. That's what I'm saying. Just have
They-
like a
they
1 month
actually-
window.
There's
where
been a
you're-
discussion about a week
Okay.
that
Just like-
leaderboard shouldn't take any runs for a week until after release.
Yeah, like just like have a set period of time
You-
where you can just be like, cool, I can
you name a
enjoy
game-
the game first and actually play it first before I instantly
Yeah.
go like, I gotta glitch this, man.
I'm telling you,
Fuck
you
this
name a
game. There's no fun in it if I'm not cheating.
You name a game and there's a speedrun for it. Just go to speedrun.com and just search up any game. And if there isn't one, hey, get a free world record.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
I think
yeah,
I think that's
do
a
it-
good
that's
way.
what critical does.
Get
yeah.
that world record in Barney hide and seek. By the way,
That's-
the way you beat that game is just hold left. I'm not lying.
All right.
Well, no, dude, that's what some YouTubers do nowadays. Is like there's
They
there's
find,
a
like-
couple
Dude,
of people.
don't get me.
Yeah,
Don't even get me started on these top 10 cringeworthy speedruns.
no, there's not even
These
cringeworthy.
YouTubes,
Like
man.
there's a couple of people who like that's like a fifth of their videos now, or they're so bored they just go to speedrun and find like the shittiest game they can. They're
Yeah,
like, all right, I'm gonna beat this in like 5
Tusa
seconds.
Grande,
I
the
gotta
Tusa
do
Grande
this.
tournament is literally, it's a bad games tournament. They just pick bad games and race them against each other. Rin Tin Tin was a really bad game I saw. Rocky and Bullwinkle was a really bad game I saw.
How do you 100% speedrun Bad Rabbits? Or not Bad
Uh,
Rabbits,
well,
Bad Rats.
I got a game that everyone's gonna be playing soon called Swag Man, and this game's fucking so dope, and we're gonna speedrun it. All right, let's move on.
Speedrun Swag Man.
Fury
Will
PS4.
it actually run 60 frames 4K?
Of course, it's Swag Man. Why wouldn't it? He's the swaggest.
Sorry, I just when I was on my way back, I actually was looking up some news and listening to some things, and I just thought it was funny. I don't know if anyone talked about this. All right, so we're what, 1 week, 2 weeks out from E3, and all of the Xbox One X, everything runs 4K 60 frames. Project Cars 2 already announced that, yeah, we can't do that.
Really?
So we can't do 60 FPS. So we're going to not do actual 4K. We're going to upscale it to get almost 60 FPS.
Is this on the Xbox?
Yeah, this is on the Xbox.
I mean, you saw Assassin's Creed, of course, is having the issues.
I knew it, dude.
Not to mention,
yeah.
I can't remember. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it's Titanfall 2 people were talking about it earlier, where they were saying that like they were able to get more than 4K, but like for like seconds, and then it would dip below 4K.
Yeah,
Like
well,
it's so
useless.
in each direction right now.
I think it's a lot of it is communication too. You know, how much does Microsoft allow these developers to optimize their games? Because like I said, some of these games like Battlefield 1 looks so fucking good. Battlefront looks so good. It's gorgeous. Probably the best looking games I've ever seen. And they run steady, crazy. Like you can put that on anything and it'll run 64K. So it's like, you know, how much are they spending to optimize? Are these developers just being crybabies? You know what I mean? Is it maybe they got to spend a little more time optimizing for the Xbox if they really want to push it? I can see there's hardware limitations.
That's a launch title, though.
What, Project Cars?
Yeah. So that's why that was
but they
bigger news.
They have Forza, so I guess it's like now Forza's just like, haha, you know, we have
Yeah.
4K60. I think Project Cars is a better
we had the Porsche 911.
I think Project Cars is way better than Forza, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, but yeah.
All right,
I don't know,
Fury.
I found it interesting, basically, that like now that we're a couple of weeks out, more people have been coming out saying,
Of course.
this is going to be really fucking hard. We don't know if we can actually do this. And it's just like, duh.
Of course.
Sorry, I had to have my little vindication.
Fury PS4 Limited Edition and OST are out, and this looks actually really cool looking. I've never played this game. I've never even heard
You should
of this
pick it up
game.
on Steam sale.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure it's on sale.
What kind of
It's a
game
really
is this?
good
I've
game.
never even heard of
It's like a boss rush,
Okay.
except every single boss has like a different mechanic or way to beat the boss.
That's cool.
It's really interesting.
The OST looks pretty cool. So
Yeah, it's got a good soundtrack.
that's interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of Fury before. All right, moving on. Next news. We got some more news coming up real quick. Modern Warfare Remastered standalone releases. The standalone releases in June 27th, which is what, tomorrow?
Yeah, for PS4.
That's pretty dope. Modern Warfare.
It'll come to PC and Xbox, but they were speculating in that article that it would be coming like a month later.
Okay. Well, at least it gets its own thing. You don't have to worry about getting fucking, what was the other one? Infinite Warfare?
Infinity War.
Infinity War?
The Infinity Crisis, the Infinity Stone.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about getting that to play the game. Pathfinder will finally get its own isometric RPG thanks to successful Kickstarter. This is interesting.
Yeah, dude, I'm hype as fuck about that.
Another Kickstarter funded game.
Yeah, the last Kickstarter funded isometric RPG. I don't know, was the new Torment game funded on Kickstarter? Does anybody know that? I know Pillars of Eternity was. Pillars of Eternity was, and Pillars of Eternity was fucking fantastic. Jerry looks like he has something to say.
Wait. The newest one, I think so. I think the way it went is they had to kickstart Pillars. Then they got one that wasn't kickstarted, didn't do as well as they had hoped.
Tyranny.
Tyranny, because people didn't buy it. Then they went back to Kickstarter. So I think so. I think if I'm remembering that chronological order right. But I know one of them wasn't kickstarted out of like the three.
I'm just really psyched because it's going to be kind of a classic isometric RPG, but it's going to be on Pathfinder rules instead of D&D rules. Just about every old school isometric RPG was D&D rules.
Interesting. This looks cool. $500,000 goal, and they hit it. Kingmaker. This developer is teasing a handful of stretch goals with 2 weeks left to go. Kingmaker is being developed by Alcat, Russian team. I'm all for crowdfunding, man. I love crowdfunding, and this just goes to show you that people are hype on it, man. So that's good.
Especially if they deliver.
Man.
Right. Hopefully it's not another ukulele.
I love them Kickstarter games. How did that rabbit game do? That rap rabbit.
Secret World Legends opens its spooky doors today. It's fucking spooky doors, dude.
Yeah, Secret World was like an old RPG or old MMO RPG that had like weird, unique, like things. Like I don't know, like it wasn't just like your standard MMO fantasy RPG. It took place in like modern day, and it was
alternate
kind of cool.
Universe, yeah.
It was alternate universe.
Yeah, we're watching the trailer, and the first scene is like some military dude jumping off a bridge with a helicopter shooting him, and now there's like some chick with a bunny head on with a katana in a schoolgirl outfit cutting through like this office.
Sounds like anime.
This looks pretty cool.
It's kind of, yeah.
It was supposed to be actually really good, except just not enough people played it. It's actually pretty old, but they're coming back out with it pretty much, and they're making it free to play, I think.
And they're opening their spooky doors, dude.
And they're making it actually, they're updating it.
They're making it spooky.
Yeah.
You can't ask for anything
Spoopy,
more.
dude.
I'm all for some fucking spooky games. Whoopsies. And here's the last piece of news. So I showed you and Doobie this. I don't know if Jerry's seen it, but there seems to be a Persona app that got released, which is the IM app. So if you know Persona, there's like an instant messenger thing, and it looks exactly like it, which is pretty cool. It looks like there's a lot of features too. Like you can have
I wish I had an Android.
Yeah, it's only
I
Android.
love that I have an Android.
Are you gonna get this, Doobie?
I'm probably gonna download it. Yeah.
You fucking.
The weeb in me can't not do
Now,
it.
is it just like a messaging client?
Yeah.
So just replaces your message. All right,
It's
that's kinda
SMS,
cool.
yeah.
All right. All right.
It looks pretty. It looked literally exactly like Persona's messaging client. Which, so if you're a big fan of the game, you're all for this, man. That's just another level of immersion. It's exactly like it. You even get like the points on the side and everything.
I wanted to.
download it.
I wanted to do a custom theme for my phone. Like, I wish I knew how to do that stuff. So I wanted to do like a custom Persona theme where it had like the style. Because that's what I love about it, is that stylization's so good.
Yeah, I think it's a little gaudy, but if you're into the game, for sure, it's interesting.
It's my aesthetic, that's for sure.
This is also free, so you can just go and download it and just install. You don't have to pay any money, which is pretty cool. I can't promise you if you do that, you're not going to get any malware or viruses on your phone, but it is there for you if you like it. And then the Steam sale. That's our last piece of news is the Steam sale.
I got one more random thing to throw out there for news. Today, since this is now Tuesday the 27th, Diablo 3 Necro's out. Necromancer is out for Diablo 3, $15 if you want to.
When does that update, Jerry? Is that going to be like 2 a.m. in the morning? Because if so, that's what I'm doing at 2 a.m.
It's probably their usual standard thing where it's going to be like 6 a.m. Pacific time, so it's probably like 9 to 12 Eastern. Like it's usually weird hours, that usual Blizzard Tuesday times block is my guess.
Well,
what else new does it add? Anything else besides a new player?
It adds the Necromancer. You get 2 new character slots. You get a set of wings, a little pet, and it does have a new mini campaign basically for the Necromancer. So it's like got new starting zone kind of and like stuff.
Did they say why?
I'm gonna buy it.
Did they say why they left it out of the first one?
Time, I think. I don't know.
No clue, because the Necromancer was like pretty much
staple.
a really favored class in Diablo 2. So I don't know why they left it out. That was stupid. But I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna play it probably before I go to sleep.
Sam?
Or
you do one caveat. You do have to have Reaper Souls.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
if you're playing
Diablo 3 and you don't have Reaper Souls, then you're doing it wrong. So
make sure you guys record that and play that next week. We'll play the recording of it. It looks pretty dope. I love
some things. I was gonna say some things I've seen from it too. Like it does have, it's a bit darker. Like at least this new zones they made for it and stuff like that they're a bit more edgier towards that Diablo 2 kind of
Mm-hmm.
grimness where, everything's dead pretty much.
Which I'm into. I'm definitely into that. The dude looks badass. He's got a nice scythe. I want to see like the builds that you can do with him because it looks pretty cool. Have you seen any footage of it at all? Do you know if there's like any new skills that they added to him?
Yeah, the skills are a bit different. Most of them are based off of Diablo 2. There's only one golem now instead of 4. Pets are a little bit different and interesting. It's a lot harder to make a giant pet army, but there's still a viable pet build. So, zombies, everything like that. His main primaries are like bone spear, like that's back. You still have bone armor, which is back, stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Poison Nova's gone, and like cool stuff like that. A lot of the poison stuff's actually gone, but they're using blood as a mechanic instead now.
Yeah, I think they actually put they have like a Blood Nova spell, I think. But I think one of the runes for the Blood Nova spell is going to be poison. I think that's how they get around it. But yeah, he's going to be a bit different in the whole using blood as a resource. That's kind of cool. He's going to be more tankier than an actual like straight mage caster.
Yeah,
so.
I could see how the minions are you have to use them. It's like part of his character.
Which is cool, but also kind of sucks. I don't know. I'm really interested in playing around with him because the thing that I'm thinking so far is he's going to be great for solo play,
right?
But not so much for group play.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm kind of worried about a little bit.
Jerry, is the season going to reset with his release, or is the season still going?
Believe so, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
Because if the season does not reset, we're just going to power level each other's necromancers to max level real quick.
There you go.
Yeah.
That comes out tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, when everybody else sees this, it will already be out. But yeah, it comes out later tonight.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I do. Okay. Yeah. Season 10's already over.
Right. Cool.
Season 10 ended a couple of days ago on the 23rd.
Damn, when did Diablo 3 come out? It feels like so long ago. Fuck.
It was at least 3 years ago.
Yeah. I think a little longer.
Yeah, it might be 4 now. I think it might have even been 2012. Could be closer to 5.
It's pretty old. It's pretty damn old. All right. Let's move on to our last topic. No deep topic. I want to talk about Watch Dogs 2, give it a quick review, and we're going to get out of here. I got some gameplay footage that I want to put up really quickly. So you guys haven't played this, right?
What, Watch Dogs 2?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it now while it's on sale. It's pretty fun. I'm a huge fan of Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot is one of my favorite shows of all time. I think the show is amazing, and it adds a interesting level of techno-connected society to like a really dark plot. And this game has the techno in it, but kind of does away with anything that's dark. It's very hacky in the sense of like it's comedy. It's very hipsterized. Like the outfits that you can give this guy are just ridiculous. Everyone is like a fucking cartoon of what some executive sitting in a game developer thing thinks of, like, oh well, what's a hacker? We got to give him purple hair. We got to give him spiky belts and stuff like that. So stuff is kind of whack. That's kind of what pulls me out of the game. But the dialogue's pretty good, and the story is pretty interesting. It's about how like a company like Apple is taking over, and you have to hack them and take them over because everything's connected and your identity is connected. Oops, I gotta do this. And everything is connected, and you have to wipe your identity from like the system. But really what keeps you playing the game are the missions and the actual gameplay and like running around and trying to get through these levels using all your hacking abilities. Like in this scene right here with these cars, you can see that I'm basically controlling these cars just by hacking them, and you can get them to like crash into people and blow things up. And that's pretty cool. That adds it's like almost like a puzzle game and that kind of differentiates it from GTA, because it feels very much like GTA, but there's more puzzle mechanics than you think. So that's pretty cool too. But mainly the missions are really fun. Like there's one mission where you're hacking into Martin Shkreli, the pharma dude who jacked the prices up on those drugs. And you have to like hack into his computer and get him to do crazy shit. And that's pretty cool. There's another scene where you're, what was the one that I just did today? You're hacking into like a Google Home, and you're using the Google Home to freak out. So the dude that runs Google, you're freaking out his house, and that's pretty cool. So they actually do implement these really weird, interesting kind of like hacking ideas into these missions, and they do it on a pretty grand scale. So it's not like it's not very real, but it kind of fulfills that, like, okay, what if I could, get into Apple and hack them in a way that is funny? A lot of it is just like to benefit you or to get money to buy guns, and that's kind of what is keeping me playing it. And I'm actually really enjoying some of these missions. There's a lot of what GTA does is like make fun of like genres of people and stereotypes, and they do it in a really offensive way. And they try to do it in Watch Dogs, but not to the point where it's very not to the point where it's as good as GTA. They do it, it's kind of funny, it kind of keeps you interested in the world, but it's nothing like how GTA does it. Like, Nico Bellic is just one of the greatest characters of all time in video games, and they don't have any of that in here. There's no memorable characters. The shooting mechanics are pretty interesting. It's very much like GTA. You get that little tiny little dot, and that's your shooting. You can add in aim assist. I will say the game is gorgeous. It looks better than GTA. The game is really good looking. The city of San Francisco is done really well. It's actually really detailed, but it's not that big. It's not as big as Grand Theft Auto's world, but it's detailed, and that says for something. Like we were talking about before, there's a lot more to do in Zelda, but it looks kind of sparse. There's a lot to do, and it looks like there's a lot to do. There's a lot of little collectibles. There's interesting skill sets that you can do. You get quadcopters, like these drones that actually help you, and everything kind of works. It's not the best experience though, and that's basically because the main character that you play is such a fucking loser. Like, I hate him so much. He's not funny. He tries to be funny. He tries to be like this just terrible character. And it kind of kills that for me. That's the only thing that I wish they did better, was create a better main character. But everything else is pretty fun. And I do recommend getting it if you can get it for around, I would say, $20 to $40. That's probably the most I would spend on it, is $40. There's a lot of DLC. There's interesting like multiplayer things that you can do, and hacking like these maps with another person is actually really fun. I haven't done too much multiplayer because not a lot of people are playing it. But when I do, it is fun and it is a treat. And teaming up with someone to kind of defeat these missions adds another level to your like puzzle mechanics. For some reason, it looks like my recordings aren't looking so hot. I gotta stop using Shadowplay. It's like not running right on my computer these days. Anyways.
Not gonna lie, that happens sometimes. It happens to me too.
Do you see it's like a green box that just pops up?
No, but it will just drop frames.
Yeah,
sometimes stuff like that randomly. I've noticed.
Yeah, it's
lately.
like
I think it's
frames.
like the newest patch or something kind of worked it for a bit.
Yeah. Besides that, the game looks gorgeous. It runs great on my computer at least. I haven't had any issues running it. I do recommend it. I would have to, out of a 10, I would probably give it a 5.5. It's fun. It'll keep you interested. The stories are fun. Like I said, the missions are really cool. But that's about it. Everything else is pretty much unforgettable. You're gonna forget a lot of these missions. You're gonna forget a lot of these characters, but keeps you busy, and it does fulfill like that kind of mentality of like, what if I could hack this? And they really do give you the freedom to do a lot with your hacking. And it's pretty fun in that way. So yeah, 5.5 out of 10. It's not the best game, but it's definitely above average. So I'm pretty much done with this game. I got a few more missions that I might do, but I'm pretty much done with it. And I'm gonna be playing Wildlands and try to finish that before the next show, so I can have a review of that. I've been having a lot of fun with Wildlands. Here in this scene, you can see this is like you'll run into these areas where you have to kind of unlock like a power source to fire up this huge crane, or it's like a huge satellite that you use to kind of funnel funds into your kind of like headquarters that you have. Like they call it DedSec HQ, and this is pretty cool mission too. But this is the kind of, you're gonna see a lot of these puzzles if you pick up this game, which is fucking annoying. I don't think this is a very fun puzzle mechanic, but it does add some kind of like thinking to the game. So yeah, I think a lot of people will enjoy it. I don't know how much it is right now. I'm gonna see if I can figure that out really quick, because that will ultimately depend on if I recommend it or not. I don't even know if I would call it like a $40 game, but we'll see. Give me 1 second, guys. It's $30. It's
Normal?
$30 right now.
Normal or Steam sale?
Steam sale, $30. So you can pick it up
Yeah,
for
Steam
half
sale was
price.
$29.99. I just looked at it.
Yeah. So that I do recommend it for $30. If you are into GTA, if you hated GTA, if you don't like those kind of games, then don't pick this up. You're not gonna like it. It's exactly the same game except with a hacking Mr. Robot skin on top, and it's not done
Also-
like Mr. Robot.
Also, you have to have Uplay, correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
I actually will state that I had an issue with Uplay when I first downloaded the game.
really?
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, I had to. I downloaded it, and it needs like an anti-cheat fucking thing to run on next to it, and it just wouldn't run. So I just had to restart my computer, and then it worked from there, and then it was gravy. But it's pretty fun, man. It's pretty fun. The city is done well. I'm trying to think of like
Well,
why
have
I
a
like
weird
it so
question.
much. Go ahead.
Did you play the first one at all?
No, I didn't play the first one. I heard the first
Okay.
one not that good.
Well, that's what I heard, and I heard the second one was a lot better than the first one.
This is pretty fun, man.
Okay.
I will say that.
Because that's why I was curious. Because like I don't know, the actual theme of it seemed pretty cool to me. Like the idea of kind of the story, or at least of the first one, and then I heard everyone saying the second one was a lot better and actually worth playing. So I was like, oh, kind of interested.
I definitely think it's worth playing. Here is a cutscene that you guys are watching, and in the bottom right, those are that's like your crew. One dude, he's weird, but they put you in a very they make you feel like you're actually hacking into something without actually giving you like code to do. Like everything is just like on the fly. Like you press a button and you can control a car to like just steer right, or you can control like the sewer pipes in the road to explode. So if you have cops chasing you from behind, you just flick behind you, make the water pipes explode, and that'll happen. Or you can flip the street lights to go green on the other side. So say cops are coming behind you, they're stopped at a red light side, so you flick the light and the cars start going, and then that'll stop the cops. There's a lot of cool stuff like that, and that itself isn't very interesting, but when you tie that into your missions and when you tie that into your getaways, then it becomes like a really fun game to play. And that tied in with the kind of missions that you're doing. Like I said, like you're hacking like Apple, or you're hacking, like there's a mission where you have to break out Tom Cruise from the Scientology church. And it's like missions like that remind me of GTA, that these really wild, outlandish missions that you'd never think to do, but they put you in those situations. And they do it pretty well, and they do it under the disguise of hacking. So it's ultimately pretty fun. There's a really cool graphics that you're seeing right now on the screen. They do these cutscenes really cool. There's whoever their graphic designer is, he deserves a fucking raise, because they do it really interesting. It has like this weird 8-bit hardcore kind of like vaporwave music in the background. So ultimately, it's above average. It's not the best game in the world, but it's not the worst game, and I do recommend it for $30 for sure. And that's it. 5.5 out of 10, I think, is fair. I think that's fair. And if you can see my face in the bottom right, you guys can't see it, but I was fucking around with my camera because I would move my face and the camera would like follow me. I had like this app that would and I'm playing around with it. You'll see it. It's funny. All right, that's it. Anything else that you guys want to bring up before we get out of here? We're good? You guys doing anything for the channel this week? Any streaming going on?
There might be some streaming. Maybe some Diablo 3 streaming.
Woo!
But I do know we're working on something, a little series, Loco and I here. We got some Civ 6 coming out pretty soon here.
Yeah.
And by that I mean probably right, as soon as I make the video public.
Yeah, we got to figure out. We got to do that test after this and see if it is going to be Civ 6 or if it's going to be something else. I'm not sure. Like we played a little bit, and when we picked our little ending point, we both saved. But when I left first, it replaced me with a bot. So now we got to see if we can play multiplayer over multiple sessions.
I'm pretty sure we can. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can too. But that sucked to get it going and then just be like, well, can't do any more of it. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely figure that out. I'll probably be streaming Wildlands tonight, which is not the time if you're watching this. So you're beat, dude.
I'll probably be streaming Wildlands yesterday.
Yeah. So yeah, you're beat on that, but you'll see. I'm gonna cut that up for the show next week, so I can have a review. I'm really enjoying that game. That game has really surprised me. So I'll have a lot more to talk about that. And I still got some videos that I want to get done. I just haven't had the time. So maybe you'll see them, maybe not. I'll leave that up to your imagination. All right, guys, I think we should get out of here.
So I say Saturday, another Pokemon Nuzlocke episode.
Just locking it up with them nuzzes, dude.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking I might, if anybody wants to get the nostalgia boner on, I'm gonna play some Crash Bandicoot on the stream on Friday.
Oh, Crash Bandies.
Get a little nostalgia boner for everyone.
I was playing Rayman, the old Rayman on PS1 for like 3 hours the other day.
Rayman's legit.
That might not be. That might be.
Yeah, why don't you talk about that real quick, Ryan? RetroArch.
Oh yeah, so if you don't know,
I think that's actually a really good UI.
Yeah, if you don't know, RetroArch is an awesome little hub for all your emulators. And if you don't know where to get emulators, don't worry. Just download RetroArch and you can download it from within its app. And you can fire it up on your PC. You can get any emulator for fucking any system that has ever been released. I'm talking, and it has them all the emulators. It doesn't have ROMs though. You need to supply your own ROMs. They tell you how to do it. Like if you actually have like old PS1 games, you can rip the ROMs off of, turn them into ISOs and then use those into RetroArch. But what makes it good is the UI. It's very seamless. It runs really well. It allows you to really tweak your games to work the best way you want. You can make them feel very old school, like the old school kind of vibe, scan lines, weird aspect ratios and stuff like that. Or you can just run it, just push your graphics card and make it run. You can make it run at 4K if you want it. Fuck it. 4K 60, why not? 4K 60 Super Mario, why not? 4K 60 Swagman, why not? You can do it. And it's free. It's great. You can put it on your computer. You can put it on your phone. You can put it on your NVIDIA. I have a NVIDIA stream thing, and I like playing it on there. And it does take a little bit of a learning curve. I highly recommend you check out their YouTube or check out other people's YouTube and how they set up their certain emulators. But once you set up an emulator and it's good to go. You don't ever have to touch it again. It's just a matter of how good your ROMs are. Emu Paradise for ROMs. I don't recommend pirating your games, but if that's where you need to get your ROMs because you own it and you don't know how to rip it.
Disclaimer: if you own the game, then you are okay.
Yeah. If you own the game, then Emu Paradise, probably the best place to go. But RetroArch, man, shout out to RetroArch. I think it's awesome. It really works well, and I like if you're someone who doesn't know the emulator scene, because we've all probably been emulating games for a long time now. Kate, shut up. We've all been emulating games for a while now, and it gets a little confusing trying to find emulators. This thing does it all for you, and it looks good. All right.
But we only emulate games that we own.
I
own Swagman. I own it. I can emulate it. All right, so don't fucking judge me because I'm downloading Swagman ROMs. I own it. Okay. Fuck, Swagman's so good. It's so good, dude. Swagman.
What is it for? What is it for?
It's for PlayStation 1. It's for PlayStation 1. You know what? I'm not even going to show the audience what it is. You guys can Google it on your own and enjoy the fruits of Swagman on your own, because it's just, you deserve that. You deserve that experience. I don't want to take that away from you.
It's oozing with swag.
It's so swaggy, dude. It's so swaggy. It runs so bad.
Swaggy P.
Are you gonna make a sequel called Swagman?
Swagman, the multiple Swagman.
Yeah. The Swagman.
Oh, Swagman. I think if we do like a competition between us, that someone has to play Swagman and the whole game, not just a little bit of it. You're gonna have to beat the whole game.
Speedrun Swagman, any percent.
I don't even think you can
go.
speedrun it. I think if you speedrun it, the game might just break. It might just shut down. I don't even think it's speedrunnable. It runs you, Swagman. You don't run Swagman.
You get swag. You don't swag the swag man.
Exactly.
You just get swag.
Exactly. All right. Oh, is there a web player for RetroArch? Oh, there is. Oh, this is cool. Oh, look at this shit, dog. Wait, hold on a second. Does it got a Beetle on here? Wait, so it looks like RetroArch has like its own fucking web. This is really cool. So you can just use RetroArch on its website, and you can load up ROMs through your Dropbox or your browser and play it right on the web. Check that out. How about that, dog? Yeah, look at that. So you don't even need to download it. So this thing, it basically runs on anything, and that's what's cool about it. And yeah, all right, let's get out of here. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to check out our Twitter at NoLifesGaming and our Twitch so you can get the notifications for it. And we will see you next week. I'll catch y'all later. Say goodbye, everyone.
See ya, my dude.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Oh, that bitch better give me my money. Oh,